The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. A great game tonight in Philadelphia. Jalen Brunson, 8 of his 38 in the OT. Josh Hart, spectacular again, his 5th triple-double of the season. He had a career-high 12 assists. This one to Mikal Bridges that iced the contest for the Knicks, who prevail in overtime without Karl-Anthony Towns, who missed a game with a sore thumb, 125-119. Great to have you with us, everyone, from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pidto along with Wally Szczerbiak. Bizarre but true. It was a wire-to-wire game for the Knicks. They never trailed. Yeah, it was tied a bunch, but the Knicks never trailed the entire game, and they were perfect in the overtime. 5 of 5 from the floor in the OT, and 5 of 5 from the line in the overtime.
Just a riveting basketball game. It seems like when these two get together, just like the first-round playoff series last year, it is a lot of fun to watch. Tyrese Maxey is electric. Jalen Brunson elevates his basketball game against this team, Philadelphia. Contributions all over the place. No Embiid, no Karl-Anthony Towns. Guys got to step up, make shots, make plays. Knicks, I thought, gave Philadelphia a second life by turning the ball over up 2 with 7 seconds to go in the game, and then Maxey gets it to overtime. And if you're thinking home team, you're thinking, we did our job, we got it to overtime, let's take care of business. But the Knicks would not have it. They just dominated that OT session, like you said.
Knicks actually had a 5-point lead with 1:26 to go, but again, some problems down the stretch in crunch time allowed Philly to tie it. Fourth quarter began tied, and well, it ended tied.
Listen, this is good basketball back and forth. The Knicks were getting loose balls. I mean, how clutch was Josh Hart? Huge slam right there to get the Knicks a 2-point lead when the game was tied. There were 5 ties, but Philly could never get the lead. That was when the Knicks were up 5. I thought a challenge might be smart to maybe keep the game at a 3-point lead, but now it's a 2-point lead. There goes Brunson, gets that pull-up, 109-105. This is the turnover, up 2. Loose ball, Paul George gets the timeout. So now Philadelphia has a chance to tie, and they do. That was a good call, goaltending on Achua. Still 3.2 seconds left. I'm surprised Brunson couldn't get his hands on the ball in this situation, but OG gets a decent look. Can't get it to go off the force, so we are going to overtime, Bill, and overtime, no worries. Pidto put the nitroglycerin pills away. I was totally
Jalen
Brunson knocks in the 3. Knicks were dominant on the defensive end of the floor, too. How about the minutes by Precious Achiuwa? Precious Achiuwa and Jericho Sims were ready with no Karl-Anthony Towns. Big buckets in overtime when the Sixers were doubling Brunson. Everyone was making plays. Josh Hart here, Villanova to Villanova. Take that loss with you, Philadelphia fans. That was a big-time performance by this New York Knicks squad. This team is gutty. This win can spark things. These are the type of wins you got to get when you're 5-5 in your last 10 games.
All right, you look at the numbers, Knicks. When they win, they tend to shoot well from downtown. That was the case. They won the rebounding battle, and they got excellent bench play tonight from Deuce McBride and Precious Achiuwa. Bridges, Brunson, and Hart, all the guys who went to Villanova, all the guys who have ties to the Philly area, all 3 played really well. And Brunson now, Wally, over the last 3 games, you ready? 44 points, 31 points, and tonight 38 points.
Does whatever it takes. That's what the captain does. He elevates his game when his team needs it. He helps will his team to wins when they're struggling. And this was just an incredible performance by him. He loves the matchup against Philadelphia. He did this last year in the playoffs, did this last year against Philadelphia in the regular season. And there's something about that feeling when you're in a building that you're comfortable. That 3 came back in a vengeance tonight. Knocked down 3s all over the place. He really looked, he almost got the dunk there. He's looking up like, I just missed it. He's going to catch some flack for that in the locker room, but he looks spry. He looks springy. He looked quick. You know, he's dealing with that calf a little bit, but to me, it looks like he's moving very well. And one thing I noticed about Jalen Brunson now compared to the beginning of the season, when he shoots that floater, he does not miss that floater. There were a couple times in the beginning of the year where he was missing shots. I was like, those are ones he always makes in his sleep. But now all those shots are going in, and his numbers are just skyrocketing.
Also helping his numbers, no Karl-Anthony Towns. You think Brunson says, okay, no cat, I got to score?
Absolutely. Cat makes it a lot easier on the offensive end of the floor for everyone. You don't have to be as aggressive if you're the point guard. You got to make sure Cat gets his touches. He's such an efficient player. But as a team, as a collective, like Tom Thibodeau talks about, everyone needs to step up to pick up for Karl-Anthony Towns not being in the lineup, and everyone did.
And how about Josh Hart?
Oh, goodness.
Another triple-double, his fifth. If you want to count double-doubles, he's now got 21 double-doubles on the year, matching his total for the entire year last season. He's phenomenal. His numbers tonight, Wally: 10 points, 17 rebounds, and a career high, as I mentioned, 12 assists.
I don't know what the Knicks would do without his rebounding, honestly. His rebounding is the most important key, I think, to this whole entire team clicking and being successful, because he gets every loose ball that he is around. His hands are so quick. He is just the ultimate glue guy, Swiss Army knife, whatever you want to call him. How about that block on Paul George, by the way? Paul George is 6'9", Josh Hart is 6'5", and he blocks Paul George at the rim because he just wants it more. Every loose ball. This was a huge play in the game, right to Josh Hart, leads to a dunk, just willed his team to a victory. He is having a career year. I say it over and over and over, and he just elevates the bar on how good he is and how great his career is going to be.
Remember, he's 6'4". He's grabbing 17 rebounds in this game. Just phenomenal. A season high in rebounds, and I mentioned tying a career high with those 12 assists. Monica McNutt helped call the game on ESPN New York, the radio broadcast. Monica now joins us. Whoa, what a game to watch in person, huh?
That was a lot of fun, and Pat and I on the radio, we kept saying this is definitely reminiscent of last year's postseason matchup between these two teams, even down to that last play that got, in regulation that is, that got Tyrese Maxey free going into the backcourt. We've seen that before. Then, of course, we've seen the Knicks respond in kind. I thought they did a great job. They started that overtime period 4 of 4 with high percentage opportunities. Jalen Brunson hits a big three. He almost hit a crazy behind-the-back, step-back crossover 4-point play. Y'all, I know we're in Philly, but if that shot had gone down and been a 4-point play, I really think the lid on this joint would have popped off.
Yeah, Monica, no Karl-Anthony Towns. Precious Achiuwa was phenomenal down the stretch and in overtime. What did you think of his play tonight?
I literally was like, oh, he's a half a second late on this block, or else it could have ended at overtime, right? Or at regulation, I should say. But I think Precious Achiuwa, this was a matchup that I thought would be good for him in terms of him being able to use his natural gifts and abilities, his foot speed, his length, being able to be wiry and finish in the paint versus the bigs that were available for the Philadelphia 76ers. So that was a big 10 points from him, big time on defense, the energy, helping create second chance opportunities, and being a part of that bench unit that scored 29 points. That is fantastic from this big squad.
And Monica Mikal Bridges, second straight excellent game after the shooting woes. 5 of 10 from downtown, finished with 23 points, and he was huge in the first half with 16.
You know, Pidto, I knew the shooting woes were going to come up. And so I asked Mikal post-game, and I even told him, take a deep breath. I want you to give me an answer that is rational and not huffing and puffing post-game. And I asked him, look, the shooting woes are a thing for you, but your last 2 games have been fantastic. And I thought he gave a great answer. And Wally, I'm sure you can attest to this. He told us, look, I've been in the league for a long time. I've made shots, I've missed shots. I know that that comes and goes, but I trust my work. He's like, I'm not really tripping about it. Everybody else is tripping about it. And that is what you saw tonight. You saw a guy catch the ball in his shooter's pocket, go up seamlessly, knock down a bunch of threes. What's the official count tonight? Knock down 5 threes and have a highlight dunk in the end of regulation to help his team get a really good win on the road. And so, yes, it's something that we watch because we all got our analytics out and our stats when we're watching the game of basketball. But sometimes you just got to keep hooping and trust your work. And I thought that was a great answer from Mikal.
All right, Monica, have a great trip home. We'll talk to you on Friday night.
Sounds good.
All right, when we come back, post-game comments from Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau. Dramatic win for his crew tonight in Philly. Also, be at the Wally Wall breaking down some key plays as we continue after this.
Knicks Game Night is presented by Dash Pass by DoorDash, your door to all things basketball.
Welcome back, everyone. The Knicks win overtime 16-10 and beat the Sixers tonight, 125-119. Back now from the Corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Up next for the Knicks, a big one with Minnesota in town on Friday night. Pre-game at 7, game at 7:30. It's the first regular season appearance in New York since Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo were traded, both back at MSG in Minnesota uniforms for the first time when it counts. Post-game comments now from Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau, as always, presented by Chase.
Yeah, just a hard-fought game, and we knew it would be. They put a lot of pressure on us. I liked the way we started the game. I thought we played really good first half. We took a punch in the second half, and then we made tough plays down the stretch, and then obviously in the overtime. So we knew they'd be a scrappy team. They're good at collapsing on the ball, and then you got to make the right reads, and then trust the pass. And I thought for the most part we did that. And I liked our activity today on defense. I thought we got some easy baskets just off the turnovers.
Kind of looked at everybody who played seemed to have some type of moment and big play or something that led to the victory.
Yeah, I thought we got good center play from both Jericho and Precious with Cat being out. And I thought OG and McHale were terrific. They tough assignments though, with Paul George and Maxey, and just timely shots and big plays. And Jalen was incredible with his shot making and didn't let the game get away from us. Like when we needed a big bucket, he got it. And then what can you say about Josh? He willed that game at the end. The hustle plays were they saved the game for us. So big time hustle. They tie it up, steal, tough rebound, loose ball, layup. Those are big time plays.
With no Carl and the way that Deuce is playing in that game, does it at all cross your mind? Like, do you consider OG at the 5 lineups or anything like that?
Yeah. And everything's always on the table. So that's always a possibility. Like we did go with OG at the 5. You probably missed it.
I meant down the stretch when you subbed in OG for Deuce.
Just wanted to tweak it. It was only 2 plays. Too small.
With the injuries, how do you think the team did with Brunson's injury, and how do you think he played?
Yeah, and look, it's the NBA. No one's at this time. No one's 100%. You're gonna, I appreciate our guys. Like I know they're playing, with soreness. They're playing, with minor injuries, and and that's what I love about them. Yeah, and all of them, from Cat to Jalen to OG to McHale to Josh. They come in every day. They put a lot into it, and I've got great respect and appreciation for them.
How do you feel like Deuce's point of attack defense has evolved?
He's and he has to. There's some things that he does really well. Like he could pick up 94, but also you have to read. And your pickup point has to adjust with pick and rolls, so you're not getting set up with the screen that's high at half court. Otherwise, you're looking at downhill in the paint and the force of the collapse. So, I think he's getting a good feel for that, and he's a jack of all trades. Ball pressure, team defense, hustle, big shots, not afraid of the moment, and that's what we love about him.
About Precious down the stretch, he seemed to have some big moments.
Yeah. The blocks were huge, and it gives you a little more switchability as well. And but his reaction to the ball was big time. So it's a different element.
The play where Maxey tied it.
Yeah.
With 3 seconds left.
Yeah.
What did you think of the defensive execution on that play?
Yeah, and it's not an easy play. He's got speed, and it's a pitch back, and I thought the reaction was pretty good. I thought, and that's why the versatility of Precious is so good. But overall, I thought, the way we were in the paint tonight, I liked a lot.
After that sort of the timeout between regulation and overtime, just what was the huddle like, just to sort of regroup and
you got to regroup quick. You got to move on to the next play. You can't be looking backwards. You have to look ahead, and that's what you have to have mental toughness, and I think our group does.
All righty, back now from the Wally Wall, and we got a play that they used to call for you.
Yes.
Mikal Bridges, big first half, as we've talked about, 16 of his 23. What do you have?
Keep an eye on Mikal Bridges right here. This is the zone buster play. It's an outstanding play. It really works really well. And here, let's run it. Go ahead and run it. Okay, here comes Mikal Bridges. He's going to come down. He's going to come off the screen here and watch where he gets the shot. He gets the shot right here, pretty much in the same spot where he started almost. Knocks down that three. Outstanding play by Mikal Bridges, and that's a great play by the defense. Outstanding play by Mikal Bridges.
All right, we've talked about Josh Hart's night. You want to see a sequence that personifies his night, his year, his essence? How about what he did in terms of corralling the loose ball and setting up Mikal Bridges?
I mean, it was impressive. Josh Hart was really good in crunch time here. The way he did a good job getting every loose ball, like Tom Thibodeau talked about, the hustle plays. Here comes Josh Hart coming in on Yabusele, can't see him from behind, gets his hand on the ball, and then he does a good job getting his hand on the ball, but tipping it to himself, so he can get an offensive play started and a fast break started. And we haven't seen one of these by Mikal Bridges, I don't know about all year, but it's been a while. And this is a nice finish. Hart up to Bridges, Villanova to Villanova in Philadelphia, exclamation point, in overtime. Knicks onto a massive victory against their arch rival Philadelphia 76ers.
Knicks dominating overtime, and that enabled them to beat the Sixers tonight. Big night Friday here in New York. Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo in town with the Timberwolves. Pregame at 7, game at 7:30. Jalen Brunson, huge game tonight in Philly with 38. The Knicks win. Here he is after the game.
Jalen, what, if anything, did you guys need to do to refocus after not closing it out in the fourth?
Just stay poised. I mean, that's on me. It's just careless, and I got to know my surroundings, and shouldn't put my team in that position, but I'm just happy we stayed poised in the fourth and came away with the win.
What did you think of the response by you and your teammates in overtime?
Yeah, like I said, that's just a way to stay poised, and especially on the road, position that we should not have been in. But we turned the page and we were ready to go.
You guys take that punch from them in the second half, and I don't think they ever actually got the lead. How important is it to do that to keep a team from?
I mean, it's very important, especially a team like that, and they have so many weapons. Regardless of who's in or out for them, they play hard. Nick Nurse just has them ready every single night, and so much respect to them. And it's always a battle when we play them.
All right, Brunson did have 5 turnovers, some issues down the stretch, but he was huge in overtime and a great game from start to finish. Talked about him, Mikal Bridges, especially getting off that great start. It seems like when he gets off to a great start, like he did tonight, like he did in the last game, look out.
Yeah, it's important to get him involved in the offense. When the ball moves, he's a beneficiary. He's always cutting to try to slash and find easy looks. And, good ball movement leads to open shots. And he was ready to shoot. He was on fire at the beginning of the game. He was knocking down shots all over the place. I love that play, playing off OG Anunoby, reading your teammate when he gets double teamed. He's just a basketball player, and he has a really good feel, and he's continuing to gain chemistry with all these guys. Remember, he was acquired at the beginning of this season, so it takes a little bit of time to figure out your role, and he seems to be really finding it. And these are big building blocks for this team. His defense is outstanding. He's always got the assignment to guard Maxey, to try to slow him down, deal with screen and rolls it seems like every single play, Mikal Bridges is hit by a pick and roll somewhere, somehow, sometime. And that's not easy to do. I give him a lot of credit. Every night he's out there, he's available, plays a ton of minutes. Again, he played a ton of minutes, 44 minutes today. I mean, there were a lot of minutes by the starters, but big-time win. You get your rest tomorrow, and you gear up for a big game on Friday.
Bridges had been 4 for 34 over the last 2 games from 3, 11 for 18. Amazing. Snapping out of the slump and looking good. Bridges with the 23. We will be back after this. Knicks winning tonight over Philly in overtime. Stay with us. So Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo back in town Friday night. Minnesota is here. Knicks will host Atlanta Monday afternoon, and then it's the Knicks' second and final road game of the entire month, Tuesday night at the Nets. We're back with more to wrap it up after this. All right, guys, see you soon. Meantime, Friday, Minnesota in town. They're 21-18. Dante DiVincenzo is now starting. Of course, Julius Randle will be back. Minnesota right now is losing to the Warriors by 14 in the second quarter.
Yep, Knicks blew them out in Minnesota, so Minnesota's going to be ready on Friday.
All right, so we'll see you Friday night. Pre-game at 7, game at 7:30. You can watch us here or stream on MSG Plus now on the Gotham Sports app. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports app. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.